Over 1 million cinema lovers have already subscribed to Film Companion. What are you waiting for? Hit the bell icon and join our film family.
If I don't deliver on my work front, if I'm looking shabby where I shouldn't be, or or I'm not acting well, or if I'm not giving my 100%, then it's a problem. But if I'm in my personal space, I'm me. We both of the opinion that there's nothing to hide and be sly about a relationship. If you are in one, I think the best thing is to give each other that respect and acknowledge it.
Rakul, welcome back to Film Companion. How have you been?
I've been great. How are you? It's been so long.
It's been too long, and I really wish we could have done this in person. You remember the last one? We were walking down the streets of Bandra.
I remember. Are you still eating those healthy desserts? Is what I want to know.
Not as many as I should. Though they were fabulous, and thank you for introducing me to them.
Not at all, not at all. I remember what a mess it was walking on the road initially with the traffic all around us. And, it's been, wow, good old days of personal touch.
Listen, we will do it again, but until then, Zoom will have to do.
Absolutely.
So tell me, Rakul, from all the stuff that I've read on you for this interview, it feels like 2022 is going to be the year of Rakul Preet. 7 releases, which is an insane number. 4 release dates already announced: Attack, Runaway 34, Dr. G, and Thank God. Now, first of all, when did you do all these movies?
I did them over the last 3 years, De De Pyar De released in 2019 and we're in 22. And last 2.5 years, I've just been shooting and in and out of the pandemic. Attack and Sardar Ka Grandson were actually just about 10-15 days left when the first pandemic hit. Sardar came on OTT and Attack, we're still not, we still haven't released, but every other film is in and out of our lockdowns. So I've literally been shooting, thankfully, a lot over the last 2 years. But if it wasn't for the pandemic, a few of the films would have released. Everything would not have collected together for 2022. But nevertheless, I'm just hopeful that the films finally see the release in a big screen. And I'm hopeful that 2022, there shouldn't be any further delays.
So, Rakul, in the deepest recesses of your heart, you are hoping that these 7 releases turn you into a much more bankable leading lady or to an actor with heft?
I think a little bit of both. And that's why if you look at the films, every film is very different from each other. If there is a Runway 34, which is a meaty author-backed role, then there's also a film with Akshay Sir, which has got its masala. Then there's a Dr. G, which is author-backed. There's Attack, and all of them, Chhatriwali, which is again a subject. So I think all of them are very different, and the whole idea is that both the things go hand in hand. If my films are a success, in the theaters, and if the films are making money, I inevitably become a bankable. I automatically become a bankable actor. And those films are only a success if we've done good, if we've performed well, and if the script is good. And so I think everything goes hand in hand. And I'm just, like I said, hoping that by the end of 2022, I should be a little bit of both.
But Rakul, you haven't only been shooting in the last 2 years. You also found time to fall in love.
Give it to the pandemic.
Now, you have turned an actor and a producer, Jackky Bhagnani, into a poet. Okay, his post on your birthday had lines like, "Without you, days don't seem like days, and without you, eating the most delicious food is no fun." Did you know that he was going to do this?
No, I didn't know he was going to be a poet. I knew that he was going to wish me and we were going to make it public, but I thought it'd be happy birthday in some sweet 2 words or something. But no, I didn't know it was going to be such a poetic message. I was quite surprised. He was in London at that point, and I was in Bombay, and I had a small party, like a day party, going on in in a restaurant. And suddenly, after about half an hour, when my friend said, "Listen, And I was like, what?
So, Rakul, did you call him up and say, what were you thinking? Or were you just like secretly moved and was it emotional?
No, I think I was just happy because we decided we were going to make it public, and we both of the opinion that there's nothing to hide and be sly about a relationship. If you are in one, I think the best thing is to give each other that respect and acknowledge it. I mean, let's face it, we all know who the couples are, and then hiding and running and this. And both of us don't come from that school of thought. So just I think giving that respect to each other is important, and I was quite moved, and yeah, I was like, that's a sweet message.
It was a really sweet message, and you responded by calling him your biggest gift of last year, and you said that he makes you laugh nonstop. So what is he doing to make you laugh nonstop?
No, he's quite a people who know him. I think he's got a very good sense of humor, and that's one of the things that sort of got us connected, because it's important. For me, sense of humor is very important. I have a brother who's like a stand-up comedian. So I would always compare, like I'm at home, I have such a lively atmosphere all the time. So yeah.
That's what you were looking for.
Besides a couple of other things, which is working out, eating healthy, which everything happened. So we're like, wow, this is great. I don't need to change. You don't need to change.
Rakul, do you, as somebody who is, whose career is on this upswing in Hindi cinema especially, did you, when you and Jackky discussed that we'll go public, we'll post about it, did you guys have any concerns that your personal life might overshadow the work that you're doing?
That wasn't a thought when we decided to come out, but I'm seeing that over the last couple of months, every interview asks me that question, and and I want to prove that wrong, actually, now that you've asked me that question, because why should it, it is a part of my life and it exists, but here I am doing an interview to talk about my work, and that's my personal life, like how I have parents, I have friends, I have my brother, and I have someone special in my life, and I think that's about it. And I don't want to make news of it, neither does he, but because we're transparent people, we thought it's best to let the world know, and that's about it. And now let my work speak. When these films come out, I want people to talk about my work more than anything else.
Yeah. Rakul, you worked extensively in the South, especially in Telugu cinema. And I was thinking that it's so interesting that many actors have used the South films, and especially Telugu, to sort of as a stepping stone to come into Hindi cinema, right? But I think really there is now a bit of a role reversal. I think Telugu cinema is aspirational. They are the people who've cracked the pan-India film. They are the people who are making these massive blockbusters that work across the country. Deepika Padukone is doing a film there. Alia Bhatt is doing a film there. So do you feel, Rakul, that you might actually have an advantage because you have such a strong foothold in both Hyderabad and in Mumbai?
I don't know. That sort of always depends from project to project, but definitely there is, because of that certain foothold, I think the number of people that follow your work automatically increases. That's something. I know that tomorrow, if there's a pan India film, I can speak Telugu and shoot in Telugu. I can speak Tamil and shoot in Tamil, and Hindi, of course, is my comes naturally to me. So I think that one advantage is there, which I hope people explore. And I think it's also because of the pandemic again, is why this whole consumption of content from different regions has happened. People started watching films in the South on OTT, and then slowly and gradually Bahubali, it started this, but people got accustomed to more content from the South, and then the whole I think it just blurred borders completely.
Yeah.
And anybody who's working, there's a couple of names who worked there and here. I think it gives them that extra advantage of language, of familiarity with the culture, of the fan base. But I don't really necessarily think, oh wow, I have an advantage in that sense. But yeah, I guess if some maker is looking at exploring those aspects, yeah.
But Rakul, are you nurturing both careers equally, or do you have a priority in your head?
It's not priority, but it just doesn't happen that you can balance both.
Yes.
It's next to impossible. I tried. I remember the last time when we were chatting. At that point, I was still actively working and doing the same number of films there and here. 2 films there, 2 films here. But it just doesn't work because the way of working is very different. We there in the south, you end up giving, still the like 10 days in a month, and 10 days another month, so film is spread over 4-5 months. But here you give a start to finish schedule. Okay, say Jan Feb is for one film, so it was just becoming very difficult for me to block my dates. I couldn't sign up anything there because I cannot give a window of 3 months here to a Hindi film and say उसमें से मुझे हर महीने 10 दिन दे देना. So it doesn't work. And then I just felt that it's okay, I'm going to sort of let me explore this because this is new to me. It also challenges me, like we spoke about it that time, that I had to start from scratch here to sort of familiarize myself with people. But that was challenging and that was exciting. And I'm exploring a new territory right now. And then, I can always choose the kind of scripts that I want to do. So for me, I think what's most important is that if I get a great script there, or today now we're talking about pan-India films, so absolutely I'd love to explore that.
I'm very intrigued by your film Chhatriwali, in which you play a condom tester. What can you tell us about that?
So I play a quality control head of a condom company, and it's a story about this girl from a small town who initially doesn't really believe in what she's doing as well, but happens, has to do it for her own reasons, and how she comes to understanding about the importance of the subject. And the entire story is told in a very non-preachy, very happy, small town vibe. We're not trying to tell anybody or give lectures there, but it's a story of this girl and how she comes to understand, that what she's doing is right, and gets onto the right course to sort of correct things. So I can't disclose much about it right now, but we had a blast shooting for the film. I wrapped it in December. I was shooting November, December. We had a non-stop 40-day schedule in Lucknow, and it was amazing.
When we had chatted the last time, I remember we met at a yoga studio and you were hanging upside down.
That's right.
And at that time you said to me that I do this for at least 3 to 4 minutes every day because it really gives me perspective and it's very, very meditative. Is that still a thing with you? You're still hanging upside down?
I am. I was hanging upside down yesterday. And in fact, yesterday I told her, I said, I'm going to make sure that I do this because I've been really shooting last year, most of it outdoors. So the last 6 months, I wasn't really regular. I was in London before that, and then Lucknow, and then Pune, and, Dr. G before that. So I was really not in Bombay for too long. But yesterday, in fact, I restarted, and I said, I need to do this because especially in times like this where things are getting pushed around, you suddenly have time where you don't know what to do when we are so used to being busy. So I feel like an empty mind can be a devil's mind. So it's very important to channelize your energy in the right way. And I was like, before it starts thinking too much and starts getting stressed, let's hang upside down.
Well, I don't know if your mind is ever empty. You've also launched an app with your brother called StarringYou. So that's clearly right. There's one part of you that's also very much an entrepreneur because you already own the gyms that you were running. How do you balance this aspect of your life with the acting?
I think it's all about the desire to wanting to do something. I just feel that I am a person that acting is my profession and that shouldn't define who I am. I am an actor, but I am a person beyond that, who likes to do a lot of other things. whether it is my love for fitness or my love for, food and traveling to explore things, or whether it's the entrepreneurial side. I think I'm way more than, I would like to be not just an actor and a little bit more. And that's why, if I have free time, I just keep thinking, what do I do? And, I think you can always make time for things that you really want to do. That's my belief. And, but I won't take the credit for this, because Starring You was my brother's idea. And we were again I think it was the second lockdown. No, it was the first lockdown, a little bit after that, when the world had just begun digitizing and everything was digital. Interviews were happening digital. And then he said, everything is available at the click of a button. You get your groceries, people dunzo happen. There are these apps to pick your things. And why is the access to film industry such a big deal? When people can apply for jobs at naukri.com or LinkedIn, why is it difficult? Why does nobody know about the film industry? It's always, if you know somebody, or, through references. And so I just bought my last 9 years of experience of, the kind of requirements that are there on set every day. Literally every day. You need artists, background artists, you need line producers, suddenly ADs, good writers. There's just so much requirement, and at the same time there's so much talent in the country, across the country. So that was our idea, that we should bridge the gap between the aspiring people and the industry, and sort of make it accessible for all. And then tied up with a couple of people, and
How is it going, Rakul? Are you seeing a lot of sort of people using it, or is it still early days?
It's it is good. We had a 3-month target of about 10,000 users, but we already have about 10,000, more than 10,000 users.
Wow.
So which means that it's a bank of 10,000 people aspiring to be in the film industry. Now imagine if someone starts exploring that sitting at your home. You don't have to meet 100 people in Aram Nagar and audition them. You can just skip through those auditions. So it was actually a very interesting idea for even the casting directors, because when we tied up with them, they were very relieved, because they don't have to personally meet or then refuse or accept. There's a lot of other conversation that becomes difficult also. So here just have a pool of so many people that they can view and then reach out to if required. But having said that, of course, it's early days also. We have a 3-year roadmap, and how we want to scale it up. And right now it's free for everyone. StarringYou is completely free. So eventually 6 to 8 months, whenever we feel that we're going to start adding newer features, updating the app every month, so
back when we had chatted, you had told me how you never bothered about sort of dressing right outside of the movies. You said to me that the minute you start to take pressure off duty, you will just complicate things. But Rakul, you have 18 million followers on Instagram. When are you off duty?
I am. If you see, this morning I came back from the gym and I got tabbed. Like I was looking terrible. And even yesterday I was looking terrible. I had oil in my hair this morning. I'm not kidding. But and I just looked at them. I was like, okay, bye. Because I'm on duty when I'm on a film set. And I'm on duty if I'm for an event or ad shoot or whatever. But when I'm home, or when I'm doing anything which is related to my personal space, which is, even if it means I'm shopping on the street, I am a person who likes to be normal. I feel that there's no end to taking pressure, and life's too short to be living with pressures and insecurities. And those people who are following me should know that if I don't deliver on my work front, if I'm looking shabby where I shouldn't be, or or I'm not acting well, or if I'm not giving my 100%, then it's a problem. But if I'm in my personal space, I'm me.
Good for you. I think that's a much healthier way to deal with being in under scrutiny all the time. Last question, Rakul: is there anything that you can do in Hyderabad that you can't do in Mumbai?
Paps. There are no paps in Hyderabad
at all.
Not outside my house, at least. Here they're outside my house because Karina Mam's house is right across my house. So it's right outside my house all the time. So, I think I can do away with Paps. Because
You're Taimur's neighbor.
yeah, because Bandra is a Pap hub.
It is.
Juhu is a little better, but Bandra is a Pap hub. You step out and they know your car, and I think that's one thing that Hyderabad gives me a relief from. But now I've been in Bombay for the last 3 years. I've barely gone back home.
And it's all good. You are sorted with it.
I mean, I am where my work takes me anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Rakul, thank you so much. And good luck for what looks like a very exciting year.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I hope you like those films and I get good from those films.
Cannot wait to see them. And I hope that I can see them on a big screen because that experience is so magical.
I agree. We all work for the big screen, live for the big screen. So
yeah,
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Rakul.
Hi guys, this is Rakul. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to Film Companion.